Alright, good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the Tier 8 Indonesian cruiser, the Irian. Because last time I covered the Siliwangi, and one of the top comments was, can you cover more Indonesian ships? So there's Irian, and I think there's Gajah Mada in the game. They specifically asked for one or of the other. I'll probably just cover both. But today I'm going to cover the Irian, as you can see here. Of course, I'll start off with the armor layout and everything, and showcase the ship characteristics and the build. But if you want to skip straight to gameplay, guys, the video is chaptered, so you can do that. For the price of the ship, let's actually start off with that before anything else. It's gonna be available in the premium shop at Tier 8 Cruiser Pan-Asian. 10.8k doubloons, making it the same price as the Pozarski. Funnily enough, they're both the same class of ship. So if you want me to cover Pozarski in a future video, let me know. It's going to get buffed next patch, so I'm going to be covering it next patch as well. Well, I'll probably just cover it next patch straight away. But if you want, I could also cover the Kutuzov. Now, Kutuzov is removed from the game, so, like as in from sale. But if you guys want me to cover Kutuzov as well, so we can cover all three of these cruisers that are in the game, I can totally do that. But today we're going to be covering Irian. So taking a look at the commander here, we've got... armor layout first, guys. Oh my god. So it's a light cruiser, guys. As you can see, we have 25mm armor on the side, on the nose, on the aft. 27 on the deck. Which means we're not really going to be able to bounce much at this tier. The deck can slightly bounce the 380s actually, but yeah, you still get penned everywhere else, so it's not too easy to play this one regardless. For the Citadel, by the way, if you're wondering, it sits above the water. It's relatively easy to hit. It's quite easy to hit actually. It's huge. The ship is relatively wide, so you can get Citadel quite easily in this one. For my commander, I'm running Last Stand. Actually, I'm running 4 1-point skills, and I'll tell you why. Last Stand, Consumable Specialist, Swift Fish and Grease the Gears, Demo Expert, Fill the Tubes, Pack-a-Punch, Adrenaline Rush, Survivability Expert, and Concealment Expert. The reason I'm running 4 1-point skills is, well, I could remove 3 of them and take a 3-point skill, but the 2 3-point skill available, I don't really like any of them for this ship. An alternative is you could take IFHE instead of maybe Consumable Specialist and Fill the Tubes and Grease the Gears and Swift Fish. Or actually just, yeah. It's just a lot, you know, to take IFHE. And the benefit isn't really the best because you lose out on your improved fire chance here. With our Quan Rong fire chance, we get 14.5% on a light cruiser, so I'm kind of going with that. You could also take Top Break Gunner, but the concealment is not too bad. You could also take Outnumbered, but the range is very high. So that's why I took 4 1-point skills. It's just something we can make use of pretty much every game. For equipment, we have Concealment System Mod 1, Prop Mod 1, Torp Tubes Mod 1, yes, Hydro Search Mod 1, and Main Armaments Mod 1. For the exterior camouflage available for Irian, it actually comes with this very lovely light blue camo with white and dark blue. I think it looks awesome, actually. I think it looks great. It's got the hull number, the 201 there. Don't know if that's the name of the ship written anywhere. There it is, KRI Irian. I actually never seen that before. There you go. And you also have another camo, but not all of you are going to have this. Some of you might have it, though, from previous events. The premium, the other one, the Garuda camo, I guess. It looks like a, I don't know, a bird or something. I'm not sure what that is, but there it is. And there you go. You got a little temple on top or something. And you got, you know, there you go. The same guy as the front on the back. And there you go. But I'm going to be using the normal camo. I actually prefer that one. For those of you wondering how to switch the Pan-Asian flag, the Dragon flag, to any of the nation's flag, you could do this for Pan-Europeans, Pan-Asia, and some other nations as well, Commonwealth. You go into naval flags here. Flags, it's probably going to be closed down here. Click naval flags and you can switch from Pan-Asian, the Dragon, to the nation's flag, which is the Indonesian flag. There you go. So I'm going to be using that one as well because I like using the nation's flags as well. And I'll also cover the ship characteristics, which is 47,500 HP. This is because we do have improved SC on this one, and we also have the HP flag now. Also, We have 8-second reload on our main guns. We have 12 of them. 8-second reload, 17.5 kilometer gun range, 30 mil pen. You know, it's okay. It's reasonable. The fire chance is pretty good, so that's nice. Torpedoes, that's kind of your main advantage over something like Kutuzov. Is well, actually, that's kind of your only advantage over Kutuzov in this ship. I think maybe slight concealment advantage. But you do get 20.5 damage. I think these are Yu Yang torps. So these are 13.5 range. They reload every 2 minutes. 21,000 damage, 76 knots, almost invisible. You only get 1 rack per side, but you do get the additional high TRB, so torpedo reload booster there, which is pretty nice. For maneuvering, you go 34.3 knots, which is actually quite slow, actually. And for concealment, it's 10.8 kilometer detection. You won't have a smoke screen on this one, unlike both Pozharsky and Kutuzov. And that means you have to play way more careful. So let's go into the game in the Irian. Alright, so here we are on Neighbours. We're in the Irian. Funnily enough, the DPM on Irian and Kutuzov are identical on the main guns. You are gonna have the disadvantage though of having around 2 kilometer worse range on the Irian. It's actually 1.6 worse range on the Irian on your main guns. Of course, you do get torps to compensate for this. Thank you for our Gajamada, by the way, for smoking us up. We're gonna leave a compliment to that guy. I don't want to go straight into the smoke here though, because our smoke firing isn't really the best. It's 7 kilometers. Another thing to mention about Kutuzov and Irian, actually, Irian does have 0.05 better Sigma apparently on its guns, giving it the most slightest better gun accuracy than both of the Kutuzovs. But the Pozharsky has higher AP DPM. It only has AP on the Pozharsky, but you do have higher AP DPM overall. This is because it reloads faster. I believe it reloads 1.2 seconds faster than both of these ones. We're gonna have to be really careful here against this Ipiranga, because if he just runs at me, I'll probably just die. But we do have torps. He doesn't have hydro, but you know, as we know, these Pan American battleships, they maneuver really fast. They have really fast turning, they have really fast acceleration, so we're gonna find it really hard, I guess, to torp him regardless. As you can see, this fire chance though is pretty incredible. That's why I'm not taking IFHE. You totally could still take IFHE and have the better fire chance with IFHE compared to something like Kutuzov because of the captain we're running. But you are gonna go down to around 8% fire chance instead of 14.5, which, I mean, for some people it could be a trade you make. For some it's not, you know. It really depends on your playstyle if you want that extra pen damage, and it also depends heavily on the matchmaking you're getting. Because if you're just getting you know, base standard tier 7 matchmaking, IFHE is almost useless. Of course, it's pretty good against tier 8 battleships, but against those tier 7s, you're pretty much, I mean, they all are almost all 26mm armor, so you don't really need IFHE to pen them. So you just get full damage, and you get also the improved fire chance if you don't take an IFHE build. So here we are, we launched 3 Yu Yang torp sets at him. So Yu Yang, of course, has 2, but it has TRB, so it can get 4. In our case, we had 3. We could actually have a total of 4 there, because, well, if we did the Benim thing where we keep doing circles around our spawn, we could have probably gotten another set off, gotten 4. But in this case, we just needed 3. It's okay. We got a torp hit there, permanent flood, because we made him DCB with the fire. And that's pretty much the Irian. You're hoping, realistically, you're hoping for this to happen every game, in where you have someone who's going to be playing aggressive into you. It's, of course, highly unlikely that it's going to happen every game. It's very unlikely that you're going to have someone playing aggressive every game. We got another torp hit there, another flood, which is very nice. We're up to 64k damage, and we're trying to farm this Renown from maximum range. I would like this Gallant to get spotted. I was about to shoot him, but unfortunately, he did go dark. We're probably gonna have to just wait for the smoke screen to run out, and maybe Gajo could respot him. In the meantime, we need to farm this Ipiranga. Also, the reason I'm running so far away here is because I'm really scared of the Ipiranga secondaries. I'm trying to stay behind the island from the Ipiranga. Because if he does get into secondary range of me and he has direct line of sight, he is going to start smashing me really hard. As we know, Ipiranga secondaries, I mean, maybe not everyone knows, so Ipiranga secondaries do a lot of damage, especially to cruisers like me, who he pens everywhere. And he also has high alpha on his secondaries, because his secondary guns, I believe, are pretty high caliber. These on Ipiranga might not be the 234s that are available at tier 10, but I believe they are still 203mm gun caliber, so, or at least still relatively high caliber regardless. So we still have to be cautious with the secondaries. I don't have direct line of sight, unfortunately, on anything right now. But we did avoid taking too much damage there. Well, we took no damage. We avoided taking any damage against the Ipiranga, which is nice, because now we can retain our HP for the late game. And okay, we're winning the game, so maybe we don't need too much HP for the late game. But you never know when maybe the CV starts dropping you. In this case, it's an Arc Royal, so it's probably not gonna hurt us that much. But in certain games, you might need your HP late game. So it's better I give you a video where I try to explain why I'm playing more passive in this ship when compared to maybe, I don't know, something like Pozarski. You could get probably way closer and use the smoke screen. But in Pozarski, we wouldn't have gotten those big torp hits on that Ipiranga. Also, the smoke screen doesn't last too long on the Pozarski. I mean, I don't really want to talk about Pozarski too much, because I think we should cover that in the future video. Talk about that ship. What? No way! Our torpedo tube got permanently destroyed. But at least it's on our other side where we don't really need it. But that's a bit weird that it got destroyed on the other side from that side. Is it on the deck, I guess? It is on the deck, so our deck is exposed. And that is why they have incapacitated it. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go behind this rock, because if I go in front of it, I'm actually going to go full broadside to a Renown. I'm actually thinking of just turning around. He's aiming at me, so I can't really do anything I want. I have to chill out, but he's shooting only HE. So I'm going to turn my ship around right now and try to play a bit more aggressive. But as you can see, you eat a lot of damage in this type of ship. Light cruisers, especially these ones with no smoke. And of course, we don't have a heal either at tier 8. And okay, maybe at tier 6, it's not going to be a big problem. But when it comes to playing against tier 10s and 9s and stuff, having no heal is going to be still pretty hard. So you have to play pretty passive regardless. Irian, the goal is to kite. If you're not going to play Irian as a kiter or something, or at least as a kind of like walking away ship, you're going to have a really hard time. You can, of course, sit behind islands and stuff. But the reason that's not as effective in this ship as it is in maybe a Kutuzov or something, well, it's because this one you also want to get those torps off. Now, you do have the same DPM as Kutuzov. Don't get me wrong. So you can totally play behind an island or something and achieve similar results to a Kutuzov. But if you get those extra torp hits, you're gonna skyrocket your damage way higher than something like Kutuzov regardless. But you don't have that smoke screen, so it's gonna make it harder to actually get a situation where you can sit behind an island. Well, you have to find an island first of all. You can't just load into a random match and just have a good game or something, you know. You have to find an island where people are playing aggressive on you. In this case, I'm open watering because it's tier 6, guys. It's tier 6. So you can still play it relatively easily. There's no big threats. I mean, we're having a hard time killing a Renown right now, but the threats aren't huge. Unlike, for example, tier 10, where if you get hit, you kind of just die almost sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Unfortunately, we didn't get the kill on the Renown, but it's okay. I don't think we can... I'm gonna try kill this La Galissonière. La Galissonière. La Galissonière. Trying to output some damage. Slowly. I'm missing. He is maneuverable, guys. It is what it is. I'm not that good, I guess. GG. Oh, yeah. We're walking towards the enemy, and we haven't hit a shell. I guess we suck. My goal is to get to this Arc Royal. I don't think I'll ever get to this Arc Royal, ever, by the way. But I hope I can one day. because that will give me little extra damages. I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot. Oh, look who it is though.
Our victory is in sight.
I'm gonna keep HE loaded because I don't think I can Citadel Arc Royal that easily. Oh, actually, can we get an AP shot on this Lagali before? Come on. Yeah, Arc Royal is relatively angled. He's not super angled, but he's relatively angled. We should definitely use HE. I don't think we should go for AP here because with AP you're risking getting bounces and non-pens and over-pens on this type of CB. If we go for HE, we're getting full pen damage, so we're going to be doing consistently more damage. Now, of course, we don't get the Citadel hits, but it's still relatively unlikely we get those Citadel hits regardless. I don't think we're actually going to kill him, unfortunately. Maybe someone can finish him off? No. But let's take a look at the score. Alright, so we ended up doing 156,906 damage, 222 shell hits, 2 torp hits, 12 fires, high caliber. Team score, we got top of our team. It was a tier 6 game, so it was relatively easy to get top of the team regardless. Detailed report, we got 50k on the Ipiranga, 48k on the Renown, 26k on the Arc Royal, and 18k on the Lagali, and 13k on the Mogami. 27k from Torps, plus 9k from Floodings, 21k from Fires, and 97k from HE. But we didn't really have much to farm this game. We only farmed 2 battleships, so if you have more, you can get big damages. This is with blue boosters, by the way. The credits here, everything. Yeah, so if we had more battleships to when pushing us, we're gonna of course do better, and that's one of the things I want to mention at the end of the video. But for the captain, last stand again, grease the gears, swift fish, consumable specialist, fill the tubes, demo expert, pack a punch, adrenaline rush, survivability expert, and concealment expert. For equipment, I'm running concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, torpedo tubes mod 1, hydro search mod 1, and main armaments mod 1. And that's pretty much the Irian. In terms of what I think of the Irian, do I recommend it? Well, I mean, it's not... I think, for me, I wouldn't really buy it outright. Maybe you get it in a box. This video really isn't intended, I guess, for people who are looking to buy an Irian, I think, in general. It's more for people who are... Maybe they got it out of a box in Christmas. I'm sure some of you did. They're wondering, is it any good or something? Maybe you've had it in your port for years, you haven't played it, and you're thinking maybe, you know, should I take it out or not? You can have a good time with it if you take it out, yes. It all depends on if the enemy team is pushing into you or not. If they're not pushing into you, you're gonna have a hard time. If you're pushing into you, you should have a relatively easy time playing the game, and you should have some good games as well. It's of course the same with most torpedo destroyers regardless. But especially with this, your concealment's 10.8. So you're not going to be able to just run it down into an alley or something and get torps off. You need them to push into you because of the concealment. You're not the destroyer, you have a citadel, so you have to be more careful. You do also have the additional advantage of having cruiser guns on this hull, so you don't have to worry about if they don't push into you. You can still sit behind an island and get some damage off. But again, it all depends. If they're pre-kited off the screen, you might not be able to get actually in range of them as well. Because Kutuzov, of course, has more range in this. But the range is still not too bad on this one regardless. But that's pretty much the Irian. In terms of should I recommend you buy it or not, I mean, I think there are just other ships at the tier. Maybe not torpedo, big cruisers like this. You could play Harbin. But the torp range isn't as high. You do get more torps though. But it is really a different ship than this one. Another one I featured last time is the City Wangi. But again, I mean, these aren't ships I would recommend you just buy straight up, to be honest. If you get them in a box, you know, they're good. They're alright. But I don't think you should just go ahead and buy them, you know. And even if they are, like, decent ships, I think the Irian's a decent ship overall. It does have some clear disadvantages, of course, like having really bad armor for an open water cruiser. And, of course, no smoke or heal or something to compensate. But it does have the torps, I guess. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to cover the other... I don't know what class of cruisers these are. We can check. I don't know. Let's see. Tier 8 cruisers. There's Kutuzov. There it is. Project 68 Biz cruisers, guys. Look at that. This one, the Kutuzov, I can cover. I can also cover the Pozarski. I'm gonna be covering Pozarski next patch when it gets buffed. And this patch we cover the Irian. So yeah, there's 3 ships of the same class, but they all have actually relatively different playstyles. Kutuzov and Pozarski are relatively similar actually, but they're still pretty different because of their ammo types, etc. That's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. One thing I want to mention, guys, I know some of you have joined already, so thank you so much for all the members who have joined. There is a YouTube join thing on the bottom of the next to the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, by the way, I would really appreciate a sub and a like or a comment. It would help me out a lot. Of course, my channel isn't as big as maybe some others, so the algorithm doesn't feed the videos as much. So if you just help me out with the comments and likes and subs, really, it will boost the video's algorithm and help me out. But one of the biggest things actually for video algorithm is actually watching the videos. So if you watch only 10 seconds, it doesn't really help the algorithm as much as watching the whole video completely to its end. But another thing is, if you want to help out the channel, you don't have to do it. Next to the subscribe button, there's a join button. Basically, it's $1 a month. It goes directly to me, 50% to me, 50% to Google, because we're on YouTube, so they take a cut. It would help me out a lot if, of course, you donate the $1. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. But you do get a super container admission in World of Warships as well if you do donate at the $1 mark. You could donate at the higher dollar marks too. You still get the mission. You also get some emotes you could get in the comments. And you get a little logo next to your name in the comments, so it shows that you're a member. But most importantly, you do get a super container mission. You get 1 super container per month. You do have to have your Wargaming account linked. It's not a big reward, guys. You basically donate the $1 not because you want to get the super container realistically. You do it because, well, you want to support the creator. So if you don't want to do it, that's all right. I totally understand. But, you know, I don't earn a lot, so I need to do this. And I also don't do sponsorships, guys, so I kind of just do this at the end of the video to, well, maybe get some person to join maybe one day. No, but some of you guys have joined. We have around 70 members, I think. So thank you so much. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. And please recommend ships to get featured in other videos, guys. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you. Big fan.